talk a little bit now. I think we've got Robby Besner on the line. Are you there, Mr. Robby?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, how you doing there?
Hello, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning. After you were on the show last week, we had a couple emails, people wanting to ask us, you know, geez, it really is, we want more information about water because we're finding that really we got to get back to the basics, Robby, you know, about what's keeping us healthy. And
yep.
I thought, let's go over a few hydration facts this morning. And really the premise of your research is it's not enough to drink lots of pure water. It's about drinking the kind of water that gets into our cells. But let's establish the fact that there's important reasons for us to get hydrated. Yep. And, you know, why does water matter? And I think a lot of people underestimate the reason that they need to increase their water. And, or they drink so much it runs right through them and they're not holding on to it. You hear this all the time, don't you, Robby?
Oh, my goodness, all the time. And it's so critical because we are a nation that drinks a lot of water, yet if you test most people walking on the street, and they've done these studies, everybody's dehydrated. Well, it doesn't kind of make common sense that we're drinking water, but yet we're not getting that water to be sustainable in the body and the cell. And as we talked about last time, water is the transport system for cellular health. And, you know, it gets minerals and it gets nutrition in, and it allows the cell to get all of the byproducts and waste products of cell function out. So without having a good transport system, a good cellular hydration, basically we start to break down, and that allows, you know, disease and ill health and weakness and bad energy and all that stuff to go on, you know?
Yes, you know, I was thinking about Dr. Batlamadesh's book, right? Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Wasn't he the doctor for the Shah of Iran, I think?
Yeah, I believe so. And,
you know, when that regime was changing, he was a medical doctor. He was actually put in jail. So he had no tools as a doctor, so he had to... He just started working with the rest of the people in the prison and started using water and saw a reversal of so many conditions. So let's talk a little bit about some of the conditions that require water. I mean, these seem self-explanatory. And then at the end, I want to just kind of highlight why easy water or structured water or next phase water, as we like to call it, is better. But we know we need it for energy, right, Robby?
Oh my goodness, it's so important. You know, we're body electric, right? And what I did today for the viewers and for you guys is to demonstrate a little toy to demonstrate.
Awesome.
Cool.
So you know, all our cells are connected, and again, we talk about the water being so important to basically fill all the gaps. And so we're body electric, and there's a whole body of work about that. But to show you, to demonstrate this to the viewers, I brought a little prop with me. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but, you know, here is just my normal energy, and I'm holding my hands together, and then I'm taking this little device, and I'm just going to connect it with my hands. And you can you hear that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we can see it, too.
And that's basically just the energy from my body connecting a full circuit. So if we were in the room, and the next time we're together, you guys, I'll bring this little guy with me, and essentially, if we made a circuit, I held your hand, and you held Nico's hand, and so forth, and then one of us held that tube together, the energies would flow from one of us to each other.
And we could do this across a huge room.
Exactly. And that's the point. We're all connected, and our cells are connected. And this energy and the energies affect the structure, which, again, we'll get into in a minute. But, you know, lack of that connection, then things start to break down. So it's so important that we have the proper elements, the proper minerals, the proper water in order for us to be, you know, healthy and live a sustainable and fruitful life.
And here's a comment, too. Suboptimal hydration slows the activity of enzymes. And enzymes are actually the body's ability to do work. You know, we can make vitamins. As long as we have minerals and we have enzymes, our body can make the other nutrients, right? And if we're not getting properly hydrated, these enzymes are going to be, they're going to be inhibited, right?
Totally. It's so important. And, you know, as you get older, your ability sometimes to make these or produce these for various reasons start to starts to get a little bit curtailed in a way. You know, it slows down. So that's why many practitioners, I know you guys support enzyme supplements, just to, you know, sort of fill up the gap of what your body doesn't necessarily have an opportunity efficiently to produce.
Yeah, take the pressure off, because I like if you start to look at the ideology of the word hydration, hydro power, hydro plant.
Also now, Robby, that the digestion system really counts on water to really supply, you know, get everything moving, really. I think digestion is a huge thing, and we really don't think about water in the digestive process, but I think it's pretty common sense.
The cleaving of the hydrochloride, we need the chloride atom to be pulled apart. We need the hydro, right? Robby, am I explaining that right?
No, totally. And, you know, you guys said it earlier with the segment about the delicate balance between all the different acids in your system and the ecosystem that we have inside of us with all the bacteria that we need. You know, the healthy bacteria in our gut in order for us to break down foods and digest things, you know, completely.
Right.
You know, another thing is a lot of people will discuss the fact that they, you know, have issues going to the bathroom, regularity, and so forth. I'm always like, do you drink water? Are you getting hydrated? You know, what do we know a little bit about that? You know, the whole absorption of our body water occurs in the colon. So if you don't have any left over, you're in trouble.
Yeah, in fact, I've often heard that the more water you drink, the more your body lets it go. In other words, if you're not drinking enough, now you're going to actually try to retain that water. So I especially heard this with women. Well, I've got a lot of water weight, so I'm not going to drink too much. It's actually the opposite.
Right.
Oh, totally. And, you know, I live in a coastal state, and, you know, so the humidity and the ability for my skin to absorb water in showers or just actually in the atmosphere is much different. If you move into, like, the Arizona and the drier states, it's even more critical that you stay hydrated.
So here's a quote, when the body is low on water, it extracts too much liquid from the stool, which then becomes hard, dry, and difficult to eliminate. So slow elimination contributes to body-wide toxicity and inflammation. So we got this vicious cycle. We don't get enough water, we stay toxic, and so we really need, and again, what we're going to do is you and I are really working, our push is let's get to the next level water. How is it that so many people don't drink enough water, or the ones that do, but they don't hold on to it? And that's where the structured water comes in. We'll hit that in the last segment. The other thing is blood pressure. This is another area where hydration really has an impact on blood pressure. What can you share with us about that?
Well, there's actually two parts to it, because there's a series of people out there that, and generally that's because they don't have enough volume in their supplement by having more water or properly hydrating. And the offset is that in high blood pressure, some people think that it has to do with having, you know, not if you drink more water, you will increase the blood pressure, when it really has to do with the vascular health. Okay. And so, you know, if we're hydrating properly, then I think that the veins and the arteries start to work better, nutrients flow, and
it's all good. But hey, hang on, Robby, because we got to take our short break, and we'll be right back with you. And
okay.
Stay tuned, guys. It's good stuff.
Yeah, if you'd like to give us a call, it's 877-927-6648. Talk to Robby. And welcome back to the show. And we have Robby on the telestrator here. And we want to let you know that the TheraGoods, which I have on the telestrator now. So
yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe Al can switch in the background and show it, or because it looks like we've got Robby there. But yes,
yeah,
there you go.
So this is the site. It's called TheraGoods.com. And here we're talking about the water we drink. And this is where you can purchase the H2O version of this, which is a countertop version. And we got, this is really, really good. I'm going to be switching over to this really soon.
Well, see, what happened is the way Robby designed this is the water is actually structured and inside filtered, 8-stage filtration, uses gemstone technology to give the infrared technology full spectrum sun energy, and as it comes out in the countertop unit, it vortexes.
Right.
But for the very affordable or portable, I call it affordable and portable, it's the pitcher. And there's currently pre-launch. The first ones will be shipping out to the people that have ordered mid-February, so we want to make sure that TFNN listeners take advantage of that.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go back to Robby now. And Robby, You give us some great tips about how blood pressure is affected by our hydration, and we talked a little bit about stomach health. We've got to have that chloride ion to handle digestion.
Yeah.
Right? Stomach health.
Yeah, it's all, it's essential. Again, the water delivery system, it's really integral in almost every bodily function, and we take it so for granted. And I know that a week or two ago we were talking about bottled water and the leaching of the various different chemicals, and each of those other elements, when you move further away from the way nature intended water to get to us, fresh, pristine, rainforest, waterfall down a river stream, when we start moving away and start industrializing, then the water starts to break down, the energetics break down. And as you were mentioning, before about the structure of the water, it's so important in order for us to get that true cellular hydration that is our goal,
And when you just said the structure of the water, I just got goosebumps on my goosebumps because I started thinking about how the next level water, the next phase water is actually a crystalline, like a chip, like a computer chip. So what does that mean? It's a carrier of information. And, we're designed to use this special phase of water to reinform ourselves. So it makes such sense. And I know you and I both have a passion for the frequencies, and that's a whole other level we'll get into. But let's talk about respiration or breathing, why being properly hydrated is important for breathing. When you're chronically dehydrated, this dried out situation makes your mucous membranes, as we were talking about in the first section, irritates them. It's like a dry desert, and these positively charged things like bacteria and virus are going to stick, right?
Well, let's go even deeper. Your lungs have these little pockets, these little air sacs. They're called alveoli, and they need to be properly hydrated in order for them to function right. And they actually capture the air that we're breathing, and they communicate it as they capture it, they communicate that oxygen into the bloodstream. So if you're dry on the inside, then particularly in your lungs, it impairs the function of these little capsules that capture the air in order for that to get into the blood. And it's so important for us to have the proper amount of oxygen in our blood. And earlier, Nico, when you were talking about nitric oxide, it's one of the gaseous formats that the body will make, and it's so important for it to trigger the hemoglobin the blood cell to actually grab the oxygen that's available from the lung. So all these things are connected, but it goes back to properly being hydrated, like we mentioned.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed too, Robby, is that people often wake up in the middle of the night and they're thirsty, but it may not be they're thirsty. A lot of times it's that their sugar has dropped. And now instead of water, they're using like orange juice or some kind of juice. It's the only thing that satisfied me. I've heard this so often. So a lot of signs that you might be thirsty might be just the sugar dropping in the middle of the night. So if you're waking up thirsty.
Yeah, that could be it too. And I'm thinking about how important hydration is for weight loss and weight maintenance.
Yeah.
Robby, do you have some comments on that?
Well,
a lot of people confuse hunger and thirst, right?
Yeah, it's exactly where I was going, Paige. Oftentimes people confuse that sensation of being hungry with the fact that their body's actually asking for more water.
So it can work both ways.
So next time you get that feeling, just try drinking a glass of water and see if that satisfies you. And actually, that segues perfect into weight loss, because if you don't grab that that necessarily unhealthy snack and you just grab a glass of really good water, it satisfies that feeling, and you're not grabbing the snack, adding more calories.
Yeah, because water is really the only liquid that takes that fat out of the body. It triggers that whole movement.
Correct.
Yeah.
And especially when if you're doing a weight loss program, oftentimes, people feel kind of like lower energy, or they feel a little yucky, and it's because the fat cell is actually the one that grabs most environmental toxins. About 70% of your toxins are stored in the fat cell. So if you're reducing fat through a weight loss program, you're releasing those toxins into your bloodstream.
You got to flush them out.
Yeah, so the water, again, is so important that you have that water available, good bioavailable water, so that you you can help the body regulate itself, flush that toxin out.
Bingo, because, we could go on, cholesterol, kidney health, joint health, aging, and but we've only got 2.5 minutes, so you just said the key word, bioavailable water, and that was how I opened the segment with, Robby, we know we need to be hydrated. Everyone's saying that. We all need more water. But let's talk about, give them a little thing to go away these last 2 minutes, why bioavailable, biocompatible water as nature intended, restructuring it, re-energizing it, reinforming it is important. Give us a little take home on that.
Sure. Well, I'll show you another prop here. It's something I invented. I don't know how well you can see it. Pack, but inside here are energetic stones, different gemstones and so forth that give off these energies naturally, and we have that inside of our filter and our purifier. And so as the water is leaving the system, it actually gets energized, the vortex occurs, and these energies are, plus the infrared is so important because that's the advent that Dr. Pollack brought to the world with the fourth phase of water. Certain energies from infrared spectrum will actually restructure the water. And again, water's fills all the gaps, so it's like dominoes. And when the water is structured right and crystalline, it actually will help communicate because it's filling the gap from one cell to another. It's filling all those gaps. So the properly structured water is so important for the cells to communicate, not just to regulate as a single cell and to help the membrane, but it's also important from one cell to another, and that's tissue health, organ health, and ultimately
whole body health.
Exactly.
It is just amazing, and so really what you're saying is this, and I get excited about, because I know you put a lot of heart and soul into the selection of the gemstones. I mean, you've got stones that the most long-lived people tread their feet on in their, these are kind of your little recipe. You've got stones that are revered by different cultures. So we're coming up to the end, Robby. It's always great. We're so glad that we can get you on the show. And so
thanks a lot for sticking around, Robby.
We'll look forward to maybe talking to you next week. I'll get some of the emails. And thanks so much, guys. Take advantage of TheraGoods.com. Pre-launch special, starting shipping in February. Get yours today.
Go
Thanks,
right
Robby.
there. TheraGoods.com. THEARA goods.com.